Hi everyone and welcome along to Sonic Academy with me, Chris Agnelli. In this Sonic Academy Rewind, we're going to take a look at the genre of Deep House.
Yep.
And I'm joined today by young Phil Johnston.
How's it going, everybody?
Phil, tell us a bit of background, what's going to happen, what are the guys going to expect over the next few courses?
Okay, so we initially, Bri was going to do a rewind and a fast track build, and so he sort of went in one direction, and I then thought it'd be a good idea if I did one as well, just in the other direction. Deep House has so many like wee sub-genres and stuff, so he's going to sort of a more deep direction. I'm going to maybe keep it more the pop, the UK sort of.
It's the
more commercial sort of.
It's the biggest genre at the moment in the UK.
Yeah,
especially it's
it's definitely what's crossing over.
It's had number ones. There's lots of top tens. House was never a genre I was massively into, but with this resurgence, I'm mad into it.
Yeah, some great stuff happening.
Is that an age thing? Do you think it's just getting slower? And
I think it's good, really good music. I think I think Disclosure brought a lot to the table, and that Juke Them On track was lovely.
Yeah,
there's a lot of nice stuff. It's all over MTV. Like I sit and watch it with my kids, and they're loving it. Like
so, I think the difference between Sonic Rewind or the Trance 2.0, it's very specific what you do.
Yeah,
this is much more open, much more free. There's
loads more stuff you can do with the drums. There's loads more with the bass. There's so many different wee areas. So I'm going to try and focus on. We've got a few tracks. There's a couple of key things that I want to include, but really I'm pretty open to how this is going to go. So there's not a huge amount of preparation. What we did do though,
and what sort of where this all sparked from these two courses and stuff.
Yeah. So what we did do was I just sort of put together a chord progression in the knowledge that we're going to be doing a Deep House rewind just to get some vocals and wrote and recorded some stuff. So let me just see what I have got here. Yeah, so this was the original vocal.
Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should have never left my home. I am here, a million miles away. And you are there, should have never gone without you, without you. Should have never gone without you, without you.
So semi-commercial, the chords in it, I wanted to try and keep as many minors in the chords, so we're using C minor, G minor, and F minor, and that just means you try and keep it darker so you can go a wee bit maybe more melodic with the vocal, but still retain that deepness.
The other thing with the vocal, I think, that you discovered was seemingly the verses had more music in them, and the choruses were much more sparse.
It seems to be maybe cut up and looped, and so maybe do all that. So we recorded this, and then luckily for us, Paul was working with a young lady, Andrea, on one of his courses. She's doing a course locally, and he put us in touch with her, and she came down for a session and was unbelievable.
It's kind of a lesson in itself of how these things can manifest themselves. And Paul, this girl came on his course, he heard her voice, thought she was great, thought, you guys might be able to utilize her. She came up here for a quick chat. We heard her voice, and the next morning she was in recording this vocal, and it is
great,
stunning.
It's absolutely fantastic. So
can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should have never left my home. I am here, a million miles away. You are there, should have never gone without you.
So, and then there's a second verse that we did on the day.
What has happened? I wonder where you are. Are you happy? Tell me, are you near or far? I am here, a million miles away. You are there, should have never gone without you.
So yeah, we got all the vocals. We did a session. We used Cubase to record the vocals. I hate recording vocals in Ableton. It just doesn't work at all for me.
There's an issue, you think, of timing?
Yeah, just timing issues all over the place.
Yeah.
It just never starts the vocal on the right time. So you have to do like a clap to sort of align your, and you have to make sure your clap's aligned and all. So we threw it into Cubase, did the session in there. At some point, I will be doing a vocal comping course in Cubase just to show you what we do. It's always the same thing. Trim away all the fat, get things lined up, bit of compression, maybe duck down some of the breaths, but really we didn't have to do very much. Andrea was spot on with her doubles and harmonies and
I
stuff.
think
So
that
it was
the big thing with Andrea. We'll talk, when we get into the fast track bill, we'll talk a bit more about the vocal, about double tracking, and how she was very, very good at the double tracking. And
it was
we did
exceptionally tight.
I think 3 or 4 takes, and we went, "That's it, you're done."
Yeah, so it was bang on every time. So it's been a pleasure to work with her. So hopefully we'll get her up again.
So let's have a listen to some tracks.
Yeah.
And you load up a new session, and I'll cut over here to Tractor, and we'll have a chat about some of the sort of things that have inspired you over the last while. So I think the first track that's
Need You. It's absolute massive track. Was number 1 in the UK. Love the stabs, love the drums. The vocals amazing. Just perfect vibe. The reverbs. It's like old plate sounding reverbs. Real vintage vibe to the whole track. It's quite soft sounding.
I think this took the UK, but this went straight to number 1 in the UK, and it was a real sort of bit of a moment in the UK. Sort of
This
House is
is
back.
Yeah.
I wanna be the one you call every day and night. Are you gonna be the one who's always gonna treat me right? And when we get
there's a real 90s vibe.
Yeah.
Of that.
you 100,
Definitely.
need you 100%. I wanna be the one you tell all your friends
Those stabs are just sort of filtering up through the verses.
can't do without. You gotta give me everything, baby, ain't no doubt. Give me 100, need you 100%.
And there's almost a chorus. That's that
Yeah.
chorus we're talking about. Where it's it's down. There's not a big
Yeah, bit of a drum lift.
and a sub-ear
Yeah.
bass coming in. A lot of this goes back, Phil, to Speed Garage days for me. It's a real.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of all that stuff. Some of the other tracks even more so.
Maybe stick on something else then.
Yeah, so we'll go back to that at some point and we'll pick out the stabs and try and recreate them.
This guy MK, American dude,
Yeah, on everything at the minute.
but behind a lot of big American artists like Will Smith and
It's producing them.
sadly
Yep.
he was behind Pitbull, but we'll not hold that against him.
7 long years.
So yeah, this one, love the drums. Just
That bass is pretty solid as well. Isn't it?
yeah. So we'll be doing a bass like that, like FM style.
So quite sparse and
Yep.
yeah.
So simple bass, drums, vocal, not much else there really. Bit of an organ thing.
Yeah.
So we'll
Standard 909 snares and shakers and stuff.
so we'll take a few elements from both those tracks and just sort of try and come up with something. I've thrown the vocal in here, so let me try and remember what it was. Was it 1, 2, 4?
I think it was 2.
1, 2, 2.
I think.
It's,
Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should've never left my home. I am here, a million miles. Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should've never left my home.
yeah, so 1, 2, 2. So we'll get the stabs on the go first, and we'll work with the chords, and I'll sort of try and explain a bit about what's going on there. Throw an Anna in. There's some great stab presets just in the factory bank, and we're not going to deviate too much from them. Stab house.
So these come with Anna, do they? Or is
Yeah,
this?
they're just in the basic factory bank.
We also.
So that's sort of similar to the. So I'll take the chorus off. I don't think we'll need it. Let me.
So it's got to sound kind of dissident, analogy. It's the sort of keys.
Yep. So these stabs are all minors.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of why I kept when I was writing the chords for the vocal, why I wanted to keep it all minor, so that we could use a stab preset or a stab sample that was in minor, and you could use it on all the notes in the chords. So, I'm using C, G, and F.
Yep.
And it just means we can, if we have a bunch of samples, stabs, sounds, presets, and they're all just those like nice minor chords, we can just,
Drop them in.
and it just all fits together. You don't have to worry too much about it. So let's loop up the vocal, and I'll just fire in some sort of a pattern. I'll warp that. Should warp automatically.
Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should've never left my home. I am here, a million miles away.
So the original chords were actually slower than that. They were holding on for a bar.
Okay, yes.
So, but I'm going to go quicker, I think, just in this one. I'm not sure what Bry's using for his chords, but
Right.
I'll just record this in quickly.
Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should've never left my home. I am here, a million miles away.
So that should sort of do a few bum notes in there.
I suppose it's it's deep house, and that suggests darkness rather than house is happy and pianos and up and pool parties.
Yeah. Get our times right there.
And do you quantize notes lengths?
Yeah, well, I had it set there, so I'm just going to go in and fix any of the shorter ones.
Cool.
That's not on the front there, so we'll do that. Crop. Let's get our naming started now.
Keep going as we planned to
Yeah.
go on, or I'm not sure the correct term there.
Start as we mean to go on. I think.
That's the one. Stitching 9 saves 100, or something.
One in the bush is worth two in the hand.
There you go. Another such proverbs.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not much else you really need to do with that there.
Do you want to take us quickly through what the sound's doing?
Yep. So it's very basic. There's a minor chord that's recorded into the chord hold in Anna, so you'll be able to see when I play a note. It's doing C, C, or D sharp, and G, standard C minor. And then we've just one saw. I think I turned that other one down, so it's just
So it's one saw, one voice,
with one voice.
no
yeah.
D-tunes.
Now you could go and do a bit more to it if you wanted. So say we bring that back up, make a couple of voices, take retrig off.
It's
So yeah, so pretty simple sound. We got a bit of delay on there.
just to give it a bit of width.
Yeah, I'll actually take that delay off because I'll probably use a nicer delay at some point.
The other thing, there's not loads of massive amounts of effects going on in deep house. It's kind of
The big thing seems to be just
Bit of
vintage
reverb.
style reverbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna just put a simple delay on here. Maybe try it on thirds, fully wet, bit of feedback, and then just adjust the sync. For
Do you just pull the sync back, offset it a little bit.
Yeah. So all that's doing is just spreading those.
And it stops them, phasing and flamming when they sort
Exactly,
of hit on
and
each
just
other.
gives you that stereo width.
Cool.
And we'll just cut out a bit of the bottom.
Great.
And the next thing we will do is some drums.
Okay.
So we'll just quickly.
At this point, guys, I want to point out we have a couple of packs coming
Yes, which
your
we're
way.
going to use again. Drums is going to be pretty easy for this one because we made some class packs.
Really interesting to do because it's so free. You can just, there's so many loops that you can make. I mean,
Yeah.
So how we've done this is we've got a full-on main loop, which is everything sort of maybe bongos, claps, and rides. And then we have
Don't deny it. I'm luckier than some.
then we have a topper, which is all the top end rides,
Yep.
and then we have
Hats, hi
main,
hats. Yeah.
which is all sort of the mid stuff.
So yeah, there's a ton of stuff there. I'll go through just quickly while we're here.
Yeah, let them hear sort of how the three sort of work together. Say like that. So it's everything together. There's the middle stuff, and there's the top. So you get three options.
Just throw that in there. I think I'll use that at some point.
There's one called Le Youth. What is that? Do you think?
Le Youth? Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So a few of these have been sort of recreated based on similar sounding.
Tracks that may have appeared in the scene. That yeah, sounds familiar. Not sure what track that is.
Nice taggy lip. It's nice, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
throw that in.
Solange.
So don't want it too bongo-y. I'm looking for claps. Clappy claps. Oh, look at that clap. Take that.
Wonder who
the
made
claps
that
are
one.
so up front in these tracks, and like reverby and crunchy and loose.
And the kicks aren't up front. It's really weird.
Throw that in or abouts there as well.
So again, guys, as we always do, fire a bunch of stuff that we think's in the area, and then start bringing it all together.
There's maybe something in there. Can't go wrong with a bit of straight hi-hatties.
There's claps there.
Yes, we'll take those claps, thank you.
I need.
I really like that ride, so maybe use that at some point.
I suppose it's worth pointing out that you would never use about 7 loops in a deep house track.
No, we'll maybe cut wee bits out of. Yeah, like those claps. I'm clap obsessed at the minute.
That's my favorite loop.
What, this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some nice stuff going on there. So we've only like 20 loops. Let's just play them all together and see how.
Oh, freestyle topper.
Yeah, so let's not do that. I'll just bring down faders on some of them, see what we've got.
So now what you're going to do is go through each lip and go, well, like that bit, and cut it out.
Yeah. So that's probably just a bit hard. I'm just going to get rid of that
yeah.
altogether. Okay, so that needs timed. So what have we got that looks potentially straight? So we're gonna put swing on. I'm gonna use somewhere around 40%, maybe less.
Swing's very important in deep house, isn't it? It's all
Yeah.
about groove, isn't it? It's the same as
Yeah,
house.
I mean, one of the things you could do. So say, for example,
not knowing Ableton that well, can you extract a groove?
yeah, that's exactly what just about to just.
See, I
do.
read your
So
mind.
Millions. If I go to the
Millions?
full loop. So that's the sort of the level of skippiness that we want to try and create. So we can just extract that and. So when you extract a loop and you put it on another loop, you can do a couple of things. You can quantize. So that means it quantizes the track to straight and
Right.
then applies the swing. So say, for example, you have a loop that has already got swing on it
Yep.
and you apply another swing on top of it.
Okay.
The swing will add to that swing. So
Right,
it'll be
okay.
like more swingy. So
Swingy?
swingy. So if you don't want to do that and you just want to basically completely replace the groove, then
The
you
swing.
put quantize up. It'll straighten it all out first and then apply. The
Okay,
new-
so it's the quantizer 100% is going at a straight 16ths,
yeah.
and then you apply your timing.
So that does not seem to be working, but so let me just try bring the yeah. So I'll go in and I'll quantize it manually here and see if that makes any.
The other thing when making these loops, Phil, and studying the tracks, there is sometimes a looseness to the tracks that's
I don't know what's going on with that loop. It's not loaded it in at the start of the loop. Why would it do that?
not quite sure.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So warp straight. Not really happening that loop, right? If
rid
in
of it.
doubt, get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, maybe I'll just keep that one in there. Hats, or maybe I'll maybe just filter out the bottom actually, and just keep that top end of the clap. Now, is this going to quantize on or something?
There's something going on with that loop, I think.
Yeah. It's like it's being see, that must be at 1, 2.
It's 2/4, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
That's it. Oh, yeah. Sorry, yours 125.
that's just that last snare was just being weird. Why won't it change the one? There we go. Okay.
Yep. We just threw out a perfectly good loop there. Cool.
And I'll just get rid of the bottom on that as well.
And that doesn't have the same clap as Jack Bongo and Jack and Jill. Cool.
Yeah, I don't think you'd need too much more than...
I like that.
Yeah, they go together well. So maybe just simplify this down a bit.
Like that clap.
Yeah.
So again, you've applied the groove, quantize straight.
Yeah, it works.
Everything's working.
So we've enough claps, we can get rid of that. Yep, good for chorus. A bit of ride action. No bongos.
Yeah. It gives it a houseier feel, doesn't it, with the bongos?
Yeah. So let's grip all these. And I'll put this on the stabs, see if it... And then next we'll need our kick. So
Your approach to kicks here.
get
They're
something soft.
Soft, yeah.
Yeah,
they're
something
not.
soft to begin with, and then
Work with it.
work with it. Yeah, one of the things you can do is, so a lot of these sounds are sort of quite got that sort of live clicky thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to start off with some of the techno kicks because they're sort of nice and soft. Some of them anyway. Just
in the area.
pretty analog-y sounding. There's not even a click on that,
Yeah.
so we can go in, go through some of our live clicks.
There you go.
I'm going to maybe just bring.
Make it a bit tighter, is it? Just as
Yeah, so just so it's not just as boomy. So maybe go through and I just want to tighten some stuff up. Maybe.
Yeah, it's all feeling a bit sort of flabby.
You know, this is bugging me here. This snare.
That snare's bugging me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just get rid of it. And actually, it's actually bugging up the
Quantize.
quantize as well. So we'll just go in and
Needs quantized.
yeah. So I don't necessarily mind that sort of slightly off kilter groove, you know, and
Yeah, yeah.
places.
Let's hear freestyle topper just while things are empty.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's just that ride is maybe.
Taking over a little bit.
Yeah. And those, I think those claps are too long for me.
I wish Logic had something like this transient shape. You know, we've stripped silence and stuff, but it's just not as pliable as Ableton. Loving those.
Those, you like those hats? Yeah, they're a bit
Skippy?
No, I like the pattern on them. Okay, it's just the they're not
Here it comes.
heavy enough.
Here it comes.
Not heavy enough.
So what are you going to put on it?
Oh no, I'm not.
thought
I think they're too probably.
I thought you were going to go over.
Unless I probably took too much. Yeah, not really feeling them.
I like that because that's just got a sleaziness to it. It's sort of you know, it's lazy.
Yeah, let's get that stabs down.
Can't deny it, I'm lucky I didn't so. But you reminded me, should've never left my home.
Yep, so that sounded pretty good.
Next,
Just a bit of bass.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to the drums, I'm sure, when we're going in and do a bit of processing and
big time,
whatnot.
big time.
I think we've got all the elements in there that we really need to work with.
So you can see it's quite you know, simple, tight, groovy drums.
So
I think it's the first time I've ever worked with you that an overdrive hasn't appeared.
it hasn't appeared yet. Well,
Yes.
it might do later. So let me see if I can remember. I've got a preset if this all goes horribly wrong. But so those garagey basses are done in FM synthesis. So I'll try and remember how to do it. I think it's relatively straightforward. You put your chorus to 2, which is basically an octave up, and then
an octave or 2 octave.
it's an octave up from the bottom. So
Okay.
you got, you know,
Okay, that's sorry.
that's
A,
1 and that's 2.
B,
Yeah.
okay.
So, when we turn our level up,
So that's starting to modulate the
yeah,
carrier.
you can kind of start to hear that vibe, right? So the thing then you just need to do is add an envelope in. So now what's happening is basically we're doing this.
So that oscillator is
It's frequency
Modul-
modulating
is
the lower octave.
for just a second and then off.
Yeah.
So you're getting that real punchy. There you go. That knockiness.
Yeah.
You have a couple of options in Logic if you want to use that. You have the EFM, and if you have Logic Pro 10, you have the new one, which is the retro synth.
Yeah, and then you can do cool stuff, you know.
That's the Rip Groove sound. Womp, womp, womp. Rip Groove was a sort of massive speed garage track back in, probably 95 or so. And a lot of the guys now are taking its bass line as a fundamental of all the tracks they're making.
Wubby wub.
Wubby wub wub.
So just finding something that's sort of sitting in the middle.
Those FME basses, they're like the X7, they really cut through,
Yeah.
you know.
So
Can't deny it, I'm lucky I didn't so. But you reminded me, should've never.
maybe even try that an octave down, see. low.
Yeah.
Maybe get away with those.
Or up an octave.
Yeah, it's probably still too low anyway. Didn't even need to put that pitch on. And then, so we got this like wee skippy bit, so we can try putting them up an octave. And then you can do stuff like this. I might take these out at some point, but just to show you
the
the
principles of starting to build a bass line.
Make them a bit.
A little bit of release.
Yeah. Where's the volumes in this one?
And what about processing on that? Would you leave it dry?
Yeah, leave it dry.
There's not
I'm going to just get a proper swing on here for the bass. Just not liking how those last notes are sounding.
those little embellishment notes you're not liking?
No.
No.
So just gonna put this on a few things. It's maybe a bit. Yes, so that's our bass, and then I suppose the last thing we'll do some nice pads.
Yeah,
So again, pretty simple.
One of the nicest tracks I've in this sort of genre is the Chris Malinchak pads. The
Yeah.
chords and stuff are really lovely. If you haven't heard that, go and check it out.
So we'll just build something here. So we're going to use the same minors. So I'll just record.
Chord hold.
Yeah. Learn. Take learn off.
So what you did, you hit learn, you cleared it all, you hit learn, and you hit the three notes, which is C, D sharp, and G.
Yep. So that just gives us our stab to work with, and then we can
Start padding it up.
I don't want to do. I like this sort of. Obviously trance, you do these big wide super saws and
yeah.
stuff like that. And deep house sort of tends to be a bit more
Soft and intimate.
Yeah. If you make this too sort of big and wide. It's probably about as wide as I'd want to.
Yeah. You wanted to feel analogy.
Yeah.
You wanted to feel really retro and really analogy.
We can maybe do stuff like so. We'll maybe do high passes or something. So cut off 2. We'll put a high pass on. Lots of reverb.
It's getting that sort of brassy feel now.
Sort this reverb out. I'm not going to bother because I'm going to just put a main reverb on anyway. So. So I'm going to add the G envelope to filter 1 as well.
So it's filtering up and also doing a high pass as well.
Yeah. Kind of like a band pass, but
Yeah, true.
so let's. I'll solo the vocal, and you can hear maybe what we would do with this sort of pad.
Can't deny it, I'm luckier than some. But you reminded me, should've never left my home. I am here, a million miles away. You
So
are
that's
there,
the sort of thing you would
are
use in your
there.
breakdown.
Should've never gone without you. Should've never gone without you.
I might put a low note in the chord
Should've
here.
never
Hold on.
gone without you.
So let's stop this.
Should've
Reset.
never gone without you.
So
Learn. I'm going to.
do the chord and an octave down,
Yeah.
and you compress those in any sequence. If you're, there you go. Reminds me of a 70s track called Supernature.
Yeah. So I think that's all the sort of sound design that we're probably going to do at this stage.
Okay,
Anything else
cool.
you can think of that we kind of need? We got our drums, we got our bass, we got our stabs. There's not a huge amount else goes on in these.
No,
tracks.
it's
all sort of production and automation, really.
Yeah, no, the next thing is, starting to build it, getting the structure and stuff correct. So that's it from the Sonic Rewind. We've been through some drums and pads and basses and vocals.
So yeah, if you're a subscriber and you're watching this on YouTube, head over to the site and you can watch the rest. And yeah, we'll
cool.
catch you in a bit.
See you all very soon. Bye-bye.